And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free and be no segregation, no segregation, no segregation, no segregation over me, and before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free and be no more dogs, no more dogs, no more dogs, no more biting biting me, and before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free and be nothing but freedom, nothing but freedom, nothing but freedom, nothing but freedom over me, and before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free and be no more shooting, no more shooting, no more shooting, no more shooting over me, and before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free and be.
Hello, hello. What's going?
In this scene from the 2012.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. And I absolutely had a great day because I knew I was going to have a moment to chit chat with all of you. And thank you guys for sharing your time. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, Abby Du, for your help. And hopefully having another great, well, one of the best shows thus far. Today is going to be a quite an interesting day, and I hope that we can get active in the chats and you can share some of your thoughts and opinions. Abby, are you looking forward to adding a little spice to today's show on the Black Vote?
Spicy. Yes, I am. Oh, you can hear me from yours, right?
No, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can hear
How
you.
about this?
I can hear you.
Is it an echo at home? You guys let me know. We're trying to figure it out because we're like catty corner together.
And sharing the mic. One mic.
Well,
all we have is one mic.
Well, now we have two. So I just wanted to say hello to our family in the chat. Jacqueline, always a loyal supporter, and we thank you and love you for that. Kate.
Hi, Kate.
It's good to see you back with the fam again. I hope you enjoyed the show. Brown, I have brown liquor in this cup just for you. A little Jackie hat.
Yeah. I see. You see Jackie asking me if I'm a little shy about the camera. Yeah, I'm shy. I'm shy about the camera, but I have a lot of stuff going on, and I want to make sure that I'm secured before I start, being as confident as Abby Do. And I'm not as beautiful as Abby Do. So I'm gonna let y'all get to enjoy her beauty.
That's not true.
I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding about her beauty, but I'm just kidding about that part. I just like the inconspicuous, incognito, appeal about using the avatar. It gives me a special magical feeling.
She also works with children, so we just thought it would be more appropriate for her not to be on camera because she has a very prominent role with children, and we believe the children are the future.
Yeah, and you know, I hope to always represent myself no matter what, but I mean, I still do like the magical feeling of having that avatar.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Sometimes it could get a little spicy
Yeah,
so
well, Abby do does.
because I
because I
don't
don't
work
work with children.
Uh,
My co-host for Noteworthy is
in
in
the
the
house,
house,
Nahil
Nahil
Nordstrom.
Nordstrom.
Good to
Good to
see
see
you.
you.
As
As
always,
always,
I'll see you
I'll
on
see you on
Thursday.
Thursday. We still have to figure out our topic. We will.
And
And
thank you,
thank you,
Brown.
Brownlee.
I like
I like
wearing
wearing
different
different
frames,
frames,
so
so
you'll
you'll
see
see
some
some
different
different
frames
frames
throughout.
throughout.
Just
Just
trying to
trying to
be a
be a
little
little funky in my
old
older
age.
age.
I
I
used to
used
be
to be
so
so
boring
boring
with
with
my
my frames when I was younger.
yeah, I want to spice out and step out, and maybe if I get some cool frames, I'll make a little cameo appearance on one of the other shows. Maybe, maybe. But today's show is a very interesting show. It actually happened because I was in a conversation with one of my childhood friends through our social media, and we were talking to other people in our families and in our circles about the black vote because it seems like a lot of people we know are, um, are supporting the Democratic candidate. Well, and the thing is, we get into discussions about comments that they make, that sounds similar to some of the comments I'm pretty sure you guys have heard from some celebrities, some radio personalities like Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, and a couple of others, have been very vocal about wasted votes and ancestors and, so forth, so forth. So we wanted to talk about it and see if any of you guys out there listening to us had some perspectives that you wanted to share. Not necessarily asking who you're going to vote for, just what do you think about the black vote? You think it's supposed to be one vote? Everyone's supposed to fall in line and vote because of a black candidate? Or do you agree that us black people are not one size fits all? I'm curious to see what you guys think. We're going to touch into some more history and talk about the Reconstruction.
So while you're pulling that up, it's not just that they're trying to corral us back into the Democratic Party. It's the way they are talking to us. It's very insulting and condescending, and they can fuck off.
Well,
The Ricky Smiley, D.L. Hughley, and Roland Martin are the worst offenders of talking to us like we're stupid. Something's wrong with us if we don't want to support the Democratic Party this time around. And they're not really giving any good reasons other than she's a black woman.
Okay, I could help fix that, Jack. That's because she's using her mic. I'm gonna just go ahead and mute this one.
She hears the echo?
Yeah, you good now.
Okay.
No, it's all good.
I don't hear anything.
I hear you. You're perfect.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Yeah,
So can ask him, can they hear you?
they can hear me.
Your
through
voice carries a lot more
Yeah,
than mine.
I got that bass, babe.
I got that 808. Boom, 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 boom.
But this is another little. I'm gonna get to this video and talk about a little bit more of the vote. We can learn a little bit more, so we can bring up our conversations. And again, you guys, please thoughts in the chat. Let us know what you think about the black vote.
Most of us know our country fought a civil war in the 1860s, but less is known about what came afterward, the chaotic, exhilarating, and ultimately devastating period known as Reconstruction. It was a moment of profound change, with promises of citizenship and equal rights for all. One of the greatest achievements of Reconstruction was granting black men the right to vote. In 1867 alone, over 80% of all the black men in the former Confederate states registered to vote. 3 years later, Hiram Revels was elected the first black man to serve in the United States Senate, and Joseph Rainey became the first black United States congressman. Their election paved the way for more than 2,000 black office holders who served at every level of government during Reconstruction.
There are not many moments in recorded human history where a group that was so subordinated would, within the space of a decade, actually be integrated into the highest echelons of political society.
But the momentum wouldn't last. Black men's access to the ballot box, along with other key rights gained during Reconstruction, were rolled back systematically throughout the South. In 1875, near the end of Reconstruction, the 44th Congress included 7 black House members and a United States Senator. By 1900, only one remained, Congressman George Henry White of North Carolina.
By the time George H. White leaves office in 1901, he literally turns the light off on national black political leadership. No one will come behind him for an entire generation.
One of the cruel ironies of Reconstruction is that black people could claim certain rights in the 1870s that they would have to fight to reclaim in the 1960s. A sobering reminder that achievements thought permanent can be overturned and rights can never be taken for granted.
Way too close. Okay. So Jacqueline brings up a very good point. Neither party should expect anyone to vote for them as a matter of right. It's up to the individual, regardless of race, to decide who they want to vote for, whether for the duopoly, third party, or independent. That's right. We're reclaiming our rights. Look, I guess Brown Liquor puts Louis Gates in that category I was talking about. A little bit. Yeah, because he's a really good friends with Obama. It's like they just want access. They want access to celebrities, whether it be politicians or people in Hollywood. And our politicians shouldn't be celebrities. They should be public servants, and we should treat them as such.
My thing is, why are we having to go backwards and not actually remember some of the things that we had to go through? And why are we not demanding things for our vote? Like, all of the struggle to get the vote was to be able to use the vote, not just give it back to the people who are abusing the vote year after year after year after year, correct?
Well, my thought on that is at one point, well, Black people in this country have always been used to getting crumbs. Rugged implementalism, that's the right word, right? Implementalism and rugged individualism. Oops, my bad. So that's really nothing new for us. My question is to my counterpoints, white people in America, why are you settling for this? Because y'all got the New Deal, y'all got all kind of stuff from this government, and now they're like barely giving y'all stuff too. So I'm trying to figure out, why are you so loyal to the Republicans and the Democrats?
because honestly, things are not a problem to some people, not all people, but some people, until it actually affects you. Like, you can empathize all day long with some people, and from different races, sex, blah, 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 until it starts affecting you. For example, the drug war. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
Until it becomes a problem for the people who are
You know,
in control,
yes.
you know.
You're referring
That's the only
to
time change will happen.
how nobody gave a shit when the crack epidemic was happening.
They gave a shit to put it in there, to start it, to kickstart it.
Yes, they did. And we're going to be talking about that on the 10 Rabbits. Not tomorrow, next week. I'm going to be a guest on their show. And I'm going to be talking about Gary Webb and how he exposed the government and it cost him his life. But we'll say that for not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. But yeah, they didn't care when it was crack, but now there's opioids. Now all of a sudden we have drug courts and all kind of programs, things of that nature. But I just wanted to talk about a little bit about how I want to put up that quote from Jacqueline again. So she says, that's the problem. Once rights have been fought for and gained, people become too complacent, and it is so easy for their rights to be lost again. And that is so true because, and this is what they do. They think they slick. They'll give it a sweet name, like some patriotic name or some name like they're really trying to help us, like the Patriot Act, the Affordable Health Care, the infrastructure bill. The list goes on and on. But inside those bills is so much pork that is undoing the very stuff they claim to want to do. And usually the people that can get those bills passed the most are Democrats because they're supposed to be the lesser of the two evils. So they're supposed to be the ones looking out for us with incremental change. But what they do is they give us enough crumbs to make us think we have something, and we don't even realize what they've done to us. Obama repealed habeas corpus. That's huge.
It's a lot of things that he's done that is huge, but that have been quietly done or inconspicuous in the background while we talking about social issues and what rappers do this and what entertainers you want to talk to and how you high five the basketball teams and stuff like that, right? And so I like that you talked about Democrats because you know how they used to have those for dummies books. Well, this video that I looked at, while it's like Republicans and Democrats comparing and contrast for dummies. It's like a quick video because a lot of people don't really understand those parties are the same or don't understand anything about those parties really. So this is a quick little video just to kind of get everybody or new people on the.
We're not dummies. You have to represent. You keep okay. We're not dummies. A lot of us are misinformed though.
Yeah.
But if you have the proper information and it's disseminated to you in the appropriate way where you can understand it, you come to the realization. But a lot of people, that's why they want to keep chaos in your life, so you don't have time to see what's actually going on. Before you press play, I wanted to say, hey, old man Barker, what's up, Sean? Good to see you here. We're talking about the black vote today, and hopefully it gets juicy.
Jackie, we're going to come back and talk about that on the other side.
Speaking of juicy got them crazy. Y'all remember that song? Cole going mad. Cole going mad. I'm dating myself. Yes.
All right, so let's check this out, and we'll come back on the other side and look at Jackie's question, because that's a very interesting question.
Republicans and Democrats, comparing and contrasting U.S. political parties. The United States has two major political parties, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, also called the GOP for Grand Old Party. The people who belong to or support these parties are called Democrats and Republicans. Each political party is known by its color. The Democratic Party's color is blue, while the Republican Party's color is red. Candidates that represent these parties often wear these colors on important days, such as Election Day. Each party also has an animal symbol. The Democratic symbol is a donkey, whereas the Republican symbol is an elephant. The U.S. parties are known as left or right-leaning. The Democratic Party is left-leaning or liberal, which means they value progress and equality. In comparison, the Republican Party is right-leaning or conservative, which means they respect tradition and believe in limited government. Voters that support these parties tend to have different priorities and ideals. The Democratic Party is popular with voters who prioritize community and social responsibility. In contrast, Republican voters tend to prioritize individual rights and the free market. The party platforms have a different stance on gay marriage, abortion, and gun control, though individual voters do have their own opinions on these personal issues. The two parties are also divided on the issues of immigration, taxes, and environmental policies. In some states, there is strong support for one of the parties over the other. For example, California and New York are largely Democratic. In comparison, Alabama and Oklahoma are strong Republican states. A few states go both ways, depending on the times. Connecticut is known as a safe state because it has voted blue for many years, but other states like Florida are known as swing states because votes can go both ways. Candidates have to work hard to win votes in these battleground states. Do you know any famous American presidents? Franklin Roosevelt and John F. Kennedy were Democrats. Barack Obama was also a Democrat. Famous Republican presidents include Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump. Which party do you think will win the next presidential election?
So, I'm going to go backwards with her, okay? Yeah. So Jackie says, this is so confusing for us in the UK. Here, the Tory party is represented by blue and the Labour Party is represented by red. I did not know that, so that's so interesting. I'm happy to be learning more about I'm learning more about Canada and the UK through my co-host Nahilo Nordstrom and Jacqueline. Here too. Where is here? Old Man Barker?
Us.
Liberal Party are Bloods. Conservatives are oh.
He's right, 100%.
Oh, okay. All I read was the Me Too. That was hilarious. All right. So Jacqueline says,
He said Canada.
oh, he's in Canada too. Okay. Oh, well, I did not know that about Canada yet. Nahilo isn't, he's taking me slow. So I wanted to go back to, let's just kind of go through what habeas corpus is. I'm sorry, did I take something down there? Okay. So Jacqueline says, how can a president repeal habeas corpus? Isn't that the part of the Bill of Rights or something? So this is what he did. I'm going to share my screen. Now, remember I talked about those laws that they sound really good, like they're really trying to protect us. And then there's stuff in there that's like, wait a minute, what? So in 2011, while nobody's paying attention, December 31st, in fact, while no one's paying attention, because what are we doing? We are enjoying our families and having a little fun, right? Can y'all see that? Can you see that? Let me try to make it big.
It's small. It's really small.
All right, let me blow it up. Boom. There we go. So December 31st, you see the date right here. So he waits till our bellies are full and we're about to go party, bring in the new year, and he signs in the National Defense Authorization Act. NDAA, signs it into law. The statute contains a sweeping worldwide indefinite detention provision. Now, doesn't that sound like Guantanamo Bay? So he is basically saying that he could detain any American citizen, an American citizen, indefinitely without representation. So even after that, they didn't do anything with it yet. Although I did hear for BLM, they were like they were snatching up protesters and just throwing them into vans and not saying anything. And it might have been, major activists that they were targeting. This is a conspiracy theory, but it was a highly prevalent one within the Black community. So people were talking about it a lot. Okay, so then Kate says, yep. Okay, can you read it? I think you can see better on.
She says, yeah. When I woke up on January 1st, 2012, I realized that the U.S. was totally changed. Not only indefinite detention, but extrajudicial killings. He was living in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Man, a lot of stuff happened right under our nose.
Right under our nose, and nobody was paying attention, and hardly anybody was talking. Independent media was talking about it, but no one that the mainstream voters would be watching. So
I like what you're saying, Abby. You know why? Because it segues right into this next video with Savvy Sabs and Dr. Umar.
Oh.
Because you know why? Dr. Umar was talking about things. Dr. Umar, Tariq Nasheed, they were talking about dropping seeds of different things that were happening. Mm-hmm. Even people like Tavis Smiley was talking about things. When they were talking about it, people attacked them for holding Obama accountable for certain things. They thought it was hating.
Tavis Smiley was a good voice for us, and he got Me Too'd.
Yes, he did.
His Me Too wasn't the same, though. No. He was dating someone, but because you're not supposed to date people that work underneath you.
That's right.
So, because, that's an abuse of power. So, did you know Kate was in Vancouver, British Columbia? No, I don't.
No, I did not.
I don't have to.
Okay.
Vancouver, British Columbia. His dual citizenship. And look, Jacqueline says, we're international, baby.
That's right.
That's right. Look at her. Look at her. Look at you stroking her ego. That's right.
Appreciate that. But let's get into the real topic of today's show, the Black vote. I really did enjoy watching this segment of Savvy Sabs. It's kind of dated, but at the same time, she says exactly how I feel, but in her Savvy Sabs way. And Dr. Umar is who she's focusing on in this particular part of this show. And I thought that was very relevant to the conversation I had with my friend. And I hope he has an opportunity to pop on. If not, he may be on another time, but at least we'll cover what we wanted to talk about, so that way he'll know. Okay, here we go.
It's like that kind of thing. But Dr. Umar Johnson, he has some interesting points. Some of the things that he talks about, I do not agree with, but I think he's 100% correct when it comes to Black people voting for the Democratic Party. I want to give a quick shout out to Case Study QB for this clip. Now, he had an interview recently on Roundaway podcast talking about electoral politics in the Black community. And I think everyone needs to pay attention to this, because maybe this time around, maybe 2024, this will be the wake-up call for people. We'll have to see. But shout out to Case Study QB for this clip. Listen to what Dr. Umar says about Black voters.
You don't believe in voting, so how? No, I believe in voting when I have something to vote for. Okay. The issue with electoral politics and Black people, whether It's America, Africa, or the Caribbean, is we often have
correct when it comes to Black people voting for the Democratic Party. I want to give a quick shout out to Case Study QB for this clip. Now, he had an interview recently on Round the Way podcast talking about electoral politics in the Black community. And I think everyone needs to pay attention to this, because maybe this time around, maybe 2024, this will be the wake up call for people. We'll have to see. But shout out to Case Study QB for this clip. Listen to what Dr. Umar says about Black voters.
You don't believe in voting, so how? No, I believe in voting when I have something to vote for. Okay. The issue with electoral politics in Black people, whether it's America, Africa, or the Caribbean, is we often have nothing to vote for. And the reason we often have nothing to vote for is this party and its so-called antagonists, this party, are both financed by that Chinese man. They're both financed by that white man. They're both financed by that East Indian. So they got everybody running around Jamaica, who you going to vote for? Running around the United States of America, who you going to vote for? Running around South Africa, who you going to vote for? When at the end of the day, no matter who wins, he wins because he financed both campaigns. I'm not against voting, but I will only vote when you give me a reason. Okay, let's take voting in America.
Let's pause here for just a second. I want you to pay attention to, watch the expression on the host's face when Dr. Umar says what he says. Watch this.
Politics in Black people, whether it's America, Africa, or the Caribbean, is we often have nothing to vote for. And the reason we often have nothing to vote for is this party and its so-called antagonists, this party, are both financed by that Chinese man. They're both financed by that white man. They're both financed by that East Indian. So they got everybody running around Jamaica, who you going to vote for? Running around the United States of America, who you going to vote for? Running around South Africa, who you going to vote for? When
this
Muted.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, I wanted to talk about that part right there. Is he saying anything that's untrue?
No.
Does anyone in the chat disagree with what he's saying? It's like, what are you getting for your vote? And why is a bulk of Black people, celebrities on down to everyday people, trying to make people who have independent views, other views,
because they get paid?
I'm not talking about celebrities. My boy at the corner store, or my cousin.
Well, you did say you just said celebrities, so
from celebrities all the way down to everyday round the way people are trying to make you feel guilty because you want something for your vote.
Speaking around the way, read that comment.
Sammy Stabs around the way, girl?
I need me one.
Maybe. I bet you she'll be the first one to tell you. Maybe.
No, she kind of grew up. I don't think she's an around the way girl. No.
Look, I love.
She ain't about that life.
And what's her co-host? Oh, JB Smooth.
JB Saunt or something.
When they try to talk like they hip hop fam. It really does make me laugh. It make me chuckle.
I know.
Listening to Nick say fam every 5 minutes make me chuckle.
Because
I really did enjoy looking at
hey, Black people are not a monolith.
We are not, and that's what the point of this show is. That's the point of this particular show, is that we have independent minds, and I would so like it if we would treat each other with respect, even though we might not want to support the bandwagon. You know, the lady who everybody ignored when she was running, but all of a sudden now, woo, slice bread.
Oh yeah, I definitely know that, Sean. So Jacqueline says those big corps have to make sure that the parties they make donations to win, otherwise they have wasted millions of dollars. And Jacqueline, they donate to both parties, so it really doesn't matter which one wins. They're still going to get their money's worth. You know, they put these donations in their contingency fee. Meanwhile, they can't pay their workers.
You know what I don't like? I
think that's some shit.
That we just watched Joe Biden become president. Joe Biden made promises to do a lot of things for the Black, not just for Black people, but people with student loan debts, or for, you know, working class people working for minimum wage. They made certain promises. They got the vote, got the office. The parliament came in and shut shit down. Now anybody in the chat can tell me when the parliament ever did something in America to stop a promise.
First of all, can anybody in the chat tell me who the hell is the parliament? We didn't even know this. It's like when Bernie was running and they were like, oh, wait, we need the super delegates to chime in. And we was like, who? Who the hell is a super delegate? This is news to me. So now we have a parliamentarian.
Guess who's going to create something new if they win?
I don't know why this is.
Oh, the reason why we can't help you with your insurance cost and the cost of groceries, the reason why a pack of red beans have to cost $50. I'm so sorry, America. Thank y'all for making me become the first Indian Black American female president. But you know, something is going to stop them, if not Trump and FK Jr.
So, are you playing more of this?
Yeah, I wanted to hear a little bit more.
Okay. So what I want. Okay, go ahead.
All right, and we can come back on the other side and talk about it a little bit more. This is kind of a little lengthy, but at the same time, I like
it's worth it.
That they're making. It is worth a great discussion.
Piece right here. Let's go back to the beginning. It's the very beginning when he starts off. 10 hours to vote for this guy. Most of them just basically coming out so that they would not get Trump. And when you vote with that type of mentality, so, you're not stopping and thinking, what am I going to get in return, right? You're not getting.
And I don't want to hear that part. I just want to get to the juice of it all. So hold tight.
Black voter. And you say, I'm not going to support the Democratic Party. One or two responses usually happen. One response is
Indian. States of America, who you going to vote for? Running around South Africa, who you going to vote for? When at the end of the day, no matter who wins, he wins because he financed both campaigns. I'm not against voting, but I will only vote when you give me a reason. Okay, let's take voting in America.
You heard him because he financed both campaigns.
I want you to pay attention to watch the expression on the host's face when Dr. Umar says what he says. Watch this.
Politics and Black people, whether it's America, Africa, or the Caribbean, is we often have nothing to vote for. And the reason we often have nothing to vote for is this party and its so-called antagonists, this party, are both financed by that Chinese man. They're both financed by that white man. Yeah. They're both financed by that East Indian. So they got everybody running around Jamaica, who you going to vote for? Running around the United States of America, who you going to vote for? Running around South Africa, who you going to vote for?
This piece right here, let's go back to the beginning. It's the very beginning when he starts off the conversation by saying, so you don't believe in voting. And this is sometimes where people will take the conversation if you say, no, I'm not going to support the Democratic Party, particularly if you're a Black voter, and you say, I'm not going to support the Democratic Party. One or two responses usually happen. One response is, oh, so you don't believe in voting? Or the other response is, oh, so you want the Republicans to win. And so I'm glad he broke this down, but look at the expression on his face. Watch.
You don't believe in voting, so how? No, I believe in voting when I have something to vote for. Okay.
See?
Okay.
So this is the thing. It's like, this is the piece I think.
I agree with her 100% what she's saying. It's like, as soon as you say you don't agree with somebody or you don't agree with the majority of or the Democratic Party, automatic your vote is wasted. You uninformed. You don't know. You crazy. I cannot take that anymore. I mean, especially if you are defending, promoting a party that's been dicking you around from the
all
start.
this time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you not listening and you calling me uninformed. I just think we need to do better than what we're doing to each other when we have differences.
Before you started. Oh, they're so funny in the chat. Okay. Brown Looker said Brown Looker though I said, I could tell you I don't know what the parliament is. And then Jacqueline says, I didn't know that y'all had a parliament in the US. It's insane.
They just shut down minimum wage. We cannot do it.
What they keep doing is moving the goalpost.
Charlie Brown.
Which is gonna be the next video is gonna kind of speak on that, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, after
how they keep acting like they can't do stuff and they actually can.
It's amazing how I seen this video of this police officer, and if you don't mind, I'll show it another time. But it was a police officer, and it was two young men, one white, one black. And look, the young black man was like a couple of inches. He was first in line, and then the young white man was second. The young black man reached to shake the police officer's hand. The police officer told him on video, "I don't shake hands." 2 seconds later, the white guy shook his hand. He went, "Hi, son." I just can't imagine. It's like, come on, man.
It's blatant.
It's so blatant.
Speaking of blatant in your face, just think about that, because we're going to bring up something else in another video about how they are blatantly trying to antagonize us. Okay, so, oh, wrong. Hi, Steve. Steve with Brant is here. Thank you for popping in, Steve. Brown Liquor No Ice says we cooking. Cooking. Speaking of cooking, I've been to we went to the trap house in T.I.'s trap house.
You know, you're laughing, but T.I.'s just expanded the Trap House brand. He now has a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Trap House restaurant.
Tosh Mick called her aunt and said, if y'all don't know what a trap house is, some of y'all probably don't know. In a lot of rap music, a trap house is a code for a drug house.
Dope house.
Like a dope house where they sell drugs out of, and people come and do crap. Snowfall house, crack house, whatever. So she called her aunt and said, "Aunt, April took me to the trap house. She said, she did what? God, you better get out of there."
Run. Save yourself.
Save yourself. You better get out of there, God. And it's actually a museum.
It's a museum that T.I. is dedicated to the trap business.
And I was in the kitchen cooking.
Oh my God, the pictures.
But I know you're talking about a different kind of cooking, Brown.
Yeah.
Liquor No Ice. I just thought that was funny.
That's awesome.
Oh, Nahilo's back. No, stay with us now. You can rewind it later.
All right, so let's jump back into the stats because I want to make sure we get into this report that her and Dr. Umar share.
Think where there is a disconnect between
I got you, fam.
the vote blue no matter who and non-voters and people who just feel like, what is this all for, right? People who are the vote blue no matter who, those Democrat loyalists, to them, it doesn't make any sense not to come out and support the Democratic Party. It just doesn't make any sense to them when you make these kind of statements. And I know I've had these conversations with the vote blue no matter who people, okay? It can be very frustrating sometimes. But I think you need to ask yourself, what are you getting in return for that vote, right? Some people, especially for 2020, they stood in line for hours waiting to vote for Joe Biden. For 2020, some people stood in line for, especially in Atlanta. I have a couple friends that live in Atlanta. They were texting me like, I've been in line for 10 hours. And I live in Massachusetts. So like, for me, it's very quick here. I go in, I go out. Like, I don't have to wait this long, like that kind of thing. But there were people waiting for 10 hours to vote for this guy. Most of them just basically coming out so that they would not get Trump. And when you vote with that type of mentality, you're not stopping and thinking, what am I going to get in return, right? You're not getting a return on your investment, but you're out there and you're doing it because you're afraid of what is going to happen if the other side wins. And the Democratic Party has been doing this for a long time. They know by now that a lot of people have Trump derangement syndrome. And so all they have to do is give you the fear of, whoa, but you might get Trump again. Whoa, but you might get Ron DeSantis. But at the end of the day, in reference to what Dr. Umar is saying, at the end of the day, you still get corporate money winning. Corporations win, the military industrial complex wins, Wall Street wins, and we lose, regardless if it's a Republican or it's a Democrat that wins the presidential race. Let's go on.
The issue with electoral politics and black people, whether it's America, Africa, or the Caribbean, is we often have nothing to vote for. And the reason we often have nothing to vote for is this party and its so-called antagonist, this party, are both financed by that Chinese man. They're both financed by that white man. They're both financed by that East Indian. So they got everybody running around Jamaica, who you going to vote for? Running around the United States of America, who you going to vote for? Running around South Africa, who you going to vote for? When at the end of the day, no matter who wins, he wins because he financed both campaigns.
Bingo. And this is why we continue to lose. And I see Collins in the chat. Thank you so much for saying this. Or what about your ancestors who weren't able to vote? That's another thing that people will say to Black voters or Black people who choose, no, I'm going to sit this one out, I'm not going to participate, or I'm going to vote third party. That's another thing that people will say to me. But your ancestors fought for the right for you to vote. True.
Ancestors,
but I'm pretty sure that my ancestors will want me to vote for someone who's actually going to help the people.
Give your vote away.
Not someone who's going to help corporations or Wall Street. Politics was different back then. You didn't have super PACs back then, guys. This is the response that you give to people when they tell you this, when they give you this line. When they tell you, but your ancestors fought for you for the right to vote. Yes, this is true. But my response to that is politics was different back then. There were no super PACs. We didn't have this issue with super delegates. The people actually had more of a voice. But now you have this political system that's set up in such a way where both of these parties are corporate. They're both owned. You know, you have Democrat politicians where the Democratic Party used to be for the working people. Democrat politicians, they're coming straight out of like Goldman Sachs. Coming right out of it. So this is why, and I continue to say this, like, don't come at me with that, man. Don't come at me with that bullshit. Let's go on.
Not against voting, but I will only vote when you give me a reason. Okay, let's take voting in America. Black people in America never get anything when they vote. So how do they motivate us to vote if we never get nothing when we do?
Is that true? What do we ask for? Okay, let's think about some of the things that we've been asking for. Defunding the police. Did the Democrat politicians defund the police? No, they decided to give the police more money. And people still went out and supported them in the midterms. What else? What else? Haven't Black voters asked for reparations? Democrat Party want to give you reparations? No. In fact, I'm gonna show you a video of Clyburn laughing in your face. Laughing in your face. So the point that he's making here, and I think we need to take this to heart, you don't just go out and vote just because you were told to do so, or just because you're afraid of the other party. You go out to vote with demands. Have a list of demands. Everybody else has demands, man. Wake up, people. My friends that are Latino, American, they have demands. I'm not going to support your reelection if you don't do this for my community. Everybody got demands but us. Everybody's like, and then it's like the times when we did have those demands of defunding the police, when we have the demands of reparations, the demands don't hold if you still participate and vote for them anyway, regardless if they're not going to give it to you. And they know, the Democratic Party, they know they can do this with the Black community. That's why they continue to do it. They have convinced.
Her lipstick is popping, and I like wearing red lipstick, but you know, some people think that's too much.
Who's popped in, Abby, dude? Mr. Petrie's in the house.
Oh,
Thanks for waking up and joining us. We just finished talking about how we're not demanding anything for our vote. We just happy about this, celebratory events that's happening. The first Indian African, if you're mad at that, you could say African American Indian.
no, she's an Indian American
Even saying those two
with
things
Jamaican
in different
descent.
orders can cause a stench in a division.
She's
We
not
already know
connected
that.
to Black culture.
I'm just saying, we already know that is a tool that they are using.
She's a
You know what
tether.
I'm saying? That don't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
Obama was a tether too.
Well, we're gonna have a repeat, rinse, and recycle. Let's do the celebration again from the top. This time a woman with a little Indian in her. I'm just saying. And
Well,
what I'm saying is people are gonna be so angry because you do not support her based on those celebratory
identity
identity
politics,
politics. Go ahead and say it. I hate to say that.
celebratory politics of
I hate saying
DEI,
identity politics
because some people overuse it
yes,
and they're very rude about
and
it,
they're
and
very
it pisses
rude.
me the fuck off.
And we already know who those some people are, but we're not going to say that. But I'm trying to say
They try to act like Oh, I'm sorry.
they,
I got
exactly.
excited.
I
They
know
try to
you
act
do.
like
It's-
DEIs aren't qualified, and like you can't. You still have to qualify for the position.
I totally understand,
I know you understand. I'm
but
just.
and I get mad at the same things. But the fact of the matter is, nobody calls them out on it, and they just continue to do it. It speaks volumes to me.
Yes.
Speaks volumes.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. You can't get mad at something that, like that argument at the beginning of Dr. West's campaign with him and Mr. Dorr. I felt real about that because I didn't like it. I didn't like what
I
both
felt
of them
some
did.
type of
I
way.
felt some kind of way about both of them. They were both disappointing. And to me, that's when his campaign pretty much went.
Oh, news alert. Cornel West has revealed, I mean, this is allegedly, that the Democrats tried to pay him to drop out of the race. So if you guys haven't heard that, that's what he says. So I don't know, maybe we'll cover it here, maybe not. You guys are liking my frames. Thank you so much. I was a little nervous for buying them. I thought they're so big for my face. Huh?
Oh, Brown Liquor trying to call you for some of that red lipstick love.
Oh.
Brown Liquor, you're gonna have to talk to her co-host Mike Nahilio. I don't know if she's gonna rock like that on Noteworthy.
Nahilo can have
wild.
his own preferences. He don't run me.
No, look, you might have your
And
own
he don't
wild
want
side.
to.
Your wild side comes out on Civilian Discourse. That's your wild side.
Yeah, I'm more reserved with Michael because we sit there and do research. On Civilian Discourse, we just talk shit. So I want to just say really quickly, we have a new guest. Can y'all show our new guest some love? Graylin Petrie is pronounced Petrie. He's in the chat. He said two sides of the same coin. Absolutely. So and we're trying to convince him to pop on and give us his thoughts, because he is a Black voter.
That's right. An influential Black voter
with
a voice.
And
we definitely want to hear it.
So before we keep going, there's a few little, okay. Kat says, yeah, but shit-lived Caucasian women and shit-lived Caucasian feminist men do indeed celebrate with joy that someone like Kamala Harris is the DNC candidate. Go to the chat room like Tom Hartman. I know. Tom Hartman used to be one of us until he wasn't anymore. And you know who else is enjoying that? Boomer Black women and boomer Black men. So it's not just the shit-libs, Kate. It's a problem. It's a problem amongst voters who are misinformed, and we have to decide for ourselves who is worthy to, who's going to be open-minded enough to receive information and conversations that we have with them, because a lot of them get offended to the point where you might lose friendships. So I don't bother boomers. I feel like they've too far gone. I try to talk to young people. I mean, if you're coming to independent media like this channel and the others that, we have all grown to know and love, you're already there, correct? But it's the ones that aren't there yet that say little things. We have to learn how to speak to them with humility and respect, as not to throw them off, make them, like stand offish about us. Yep, you can interject. Go ahead.
the thing about this community that's building around the network you guys are trying to create is that people do speak with respect to each other. You know, like whenever we're in here, if we're disagreeing with each other, we speak with respect. Whenever we are entering the room, we speak with respect. Everybody's welcoming each other. The community that we create in these little small pockets, they have to, you know, reproduce itself outside in the real world. So I'm just saying, you create the reality, man. We gotta treat each other, and then that stuff's supposed to be just as contagious as the bad.
Yep. Graylin says, true story, I've lost a few behind politics and religion. The reason I understand this about politics is because I lost a few behind religion first. Because I came to that realization way before politics. I wish I would have came to both at the same time. I'd be much further along. But I'm here now. And I've been here for, what, I don't know, about 10 years. So that's better than nothing.
All right, I want to ask you a quick favor. I want to go into this, hear what these black men thoughts are about Miss Kamala, and then I need to ask
We
you
were supposed to
something.
do mine first.
I know, but I want to ask you how to do it. So while I just didn't want to take an awkward pause, so I wanted to just pop this one on right quick because it's real quick. I'm gonna
Oh,
just play it
okay. And
real
then
quick,
let me help you
and
put the
then
other one on.
once you put your other one on, we
Okay.
just jump right back into it.
Okay.
So,
Before you start, I want to say hello to Bad Cookies. Bad Cookies is here. Make sure you guys go check out Bad Cookies and Mastermind tomorrow at the 10 Rabbit Podcast. We are all still affiliated with each other. It's just their YouTube channel is so controversial that we don't want to risk this channel, you know, being flagged. So we do it on separate channels for now.
we can go straight into your video. I didn't know I could do it like that. So we can go straight into yours.
I showed you how.
No, I'm saying
Look.
it's right here,
Okay.
and then I'll show it, and then
Okay. She's
this is just
still learning the system.
man.
But you have to bring this down. That's full screen. Yeah, you're getting better. You're getting better. Bryce is in the house. Hey, Bryce.
I love challenges, baby. I love challenges.
No, Bad Cookies, thank you. Thank you for inviting me on your show next week. I'm very excited. I was telling everybody about it earlier. So, oh, and it's at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So that would be 8 p.m. Central on Wednesdays at the 10 Rabbit Podcast. So I gotta
wrap up for today, though. We still got a couple more things to show you guys. We definitely gonna give you a recap of the shows and the network progress, and what's some good things to come. And of course, thank you all for spending the time with us. But here we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 10 Rabbit Podcast. I'm sorry. It's nothing to read. He's gonna.
You wanna talk about it on the other side of the story?
Yeah. Oh, Bryce has. Somebody had to leave. Oh, they're saying, "Hey, Bryce." Never mind. My bad. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and hit it. But before you hit it, oops, sorry. I just want to say one more. I'm not trying to badger you. Graylin. But you're gonna send him a link just in case he wants to pop in and give us his opinions. Only if you want to.
Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you want to pop in. Otherwise, you can continue to just roll and listen. I would like him to get to know 10 Rabbit, Noteworthy, and Civilian Discourse, because he has a great, unique perspective that I hope he gets to share with everyone.
Can I just before you? I'm sorry.
Abby,
I know
what to do with you.
I know. I just want to explain this to Brown looking no ice. Do we have ice? So let's see. Brown looking no ice says Abby, give us wrenches. You know why I haven't given out wrenches? Because we don't censor here. Aren't wrenches for wrenches are for like silencing people in the chat? Isn't that what you moderate and you can silence people in the chat and stuff like that? I mean, I never do that, so But I can give you a wrench. But if you start silencing people, I'm gonna be like, because look, I can hold my own, baby. Maybe you could, Galen, you could also join. Graylin, I'm sorry. You could also join via your cell phone. It doesn't have to be a computer. Just so you know.
Wait. I saw something that made me laugh.
Oh, Brown wants to join.
Oh. All right, brown liquor. But brown liquor, you know, if I drink any brown liquor with no ice, it's trouble coming. I just want you to know.
Oh, we could do. Actually, we can do that, Nahilo, because all the people that are in here, they've been our day ones. And I do believe everyone deserves wrenches. I just didn't want them silencing each other.
All right.
I'm going to hook y'all up. We can give everybody wrenches. That way nobody can silence each other. You know, all the people that are already here.
So you gonna share the link so brown liquor can come on?
Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, that way.
I'll do that.
Hey, Greenland, I'm gonna call you GP for game. How about that? I'm gonna call you GP for game. So GP and brown liquor want to pop in. Come on through. So tell me when you want to start this next video.
You could go ahead. Let me put it up. There we go. I changed layout. You're good.
Right, I want to see what's up with this because this, whenever we come back on the other side, Kamala said something that really wrinkled apart my feathers about reparations and about promises to Black people. I want you guys to tell me you heard her because we definitely can find it and share it so we can talk about what you think about it. Because those kind of comments are not something I want to sweep under the rug. Just because she's Black, just because she's a woman, and she got a sprinkle in
difference.
All right, so what am I doing? What's the video? Did I play it?
You have it up there, but you can't hear it.
Why?
So now you got to go.
I got to go back here, and then I got to stop and go back to 127.
Okay, you see your volume is down all the way, and then you got it. Yeah.
But I'm asking 127.
I don't remember. Something like that. Suleiman is here.
Tell me what
I'm about to. 127.
Okay, that's right. Here we go.
For Ukraine specifically, without Congress, I'm talking about billions of dollars without Congress. So all their excuse now, I want you guys to understand, this is the update. This is the update, y'all. Their excuse from now on is going to be, well, you can't do it because Congress, you got to have both houses in Congress in order to get the bill. You can't do it. And then look at what I said, because I already knew what he was going to say. And then I said, even if they need Congress, when they first got in office, Congress was blue.
Thank you.
Biden had both.
Even Obama.
He had House and Senate in Congress.
He's about to show.
They could have got it done then if they wanted to. You don't have no excuse talking about Congress. He can't talk about Congress. Oh, so we was going back and forth for a minute. You can't talk about no damn Congress. So then now here comes this excuse. No, they couldn't have because not enough people are lobbying for the bill. There's a now here's the contradiction. Here's the contradiction. And we're going to get to the actual definition of lobbying. We're going to get to that because a lot of people are like, yeah, well, we need somebody to lobby. We need somebody to lobby. We're going to get to what lobbying means so people cannot flip the lie no more. Okay, no, they can't because not enough people are lobbying for the bill. There is a reparations bill introduced to the House floor almost every year. So if there's a reparations bill introduced almost every year, how is there not enough people lobbying for it? You just said not enough people were lobbying for it. Now you're saying it's introduced every year, but it never makes it to the Senate. So before we get into that,
let's get to the actual definition of what lobbying means when we talk about lobbying. So let's get into that. So lobbying says in politics, oh Lord, hold on. So now you just tripping. In politics, lobbying is the act of communicating with government officials to influence their decisions. Lobbying can involve trying to influence legislative action, administrative action, ballot issues, or non-action. It can also involve trying to gain the favor of a member of Congress, the legislator, or the executive branch. Okay, we're going to get to even more of it. Okay, it says lobbying can be done through oral or written communication or by trying to obtain goodwill from an official. For example, a lobbyist might bring legislator to a member for a member of parliament to discuss a topic, or they might request a member of Congress sponsor legislation. Lobbying is considered a normal part of government, but rules are in place to prevent briberies and corruption. For example, lobbyists may be required to disclose their activities, and they may not be allowed to delay officials or use the central lobby as a platform.
You guys
for
somewhat
protests.
get the gist.
Okay,
so
that's the definition. So
go
going back
forward a
here,
little bit.
Going back to what he was just talking about, no, they need to lobby. They need to lobby. Going back over here, if you're talking about is being introduced, hold on.
There it is. Okay. That wasn't that much
They
longer.
don't want something done. They say, well, oh, the first little hiccup, the first little bump in the road, the first little obstacle, they be like, well, we tried our best, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Now, if you don't believe that they had, I want you guys to see this. Before we do, let me explain what this is. This is what is called the trifecta.
Who make you sick?
When in politics. When the president is of one party, and then when the House, the Congress is made of two parties or two parts, really, the Senate and the House. The House is a larger part with more members, but the Senate is really, even though it's smaller with less members, it's kind of more powerful than the House. But both the Senate and the House have to work together. They make up the whole thing of Congress, and then you have the president. When you have the president that has a majority in the House and a majority in the Senate, that is called a trifecta. I have the receipts here. This has been the trifecta since really the Roosevelt administration. So at the top, you can screenshot this if y'all need to. At the top, you have the presidency, then you have the Senate, then you have the House. So I want you guys to fast forward. So we're going to get into Clinton. I want you guys to go all the way up to Clinton. So before that, Reagan was the president, then Bush was the president. Reagan, he had the Senate, but he did not have the House. Bush didn't have the Senate or the House. When Bill Clinton got in office, Bill Clinton had the Senate and the House. All right. He lost the Senate in the.
I just want you guys.
I'm not unmuted. Okay.
Look at what I am talking about. Black voters. Clinton had it. Obama
had it. Biden had it.
They had the Parliament, the Supreme, whoever an old lady with a cane, whoever it is, tripped them up to stop them from doing what they promised. All of the black voters who jumped on their asses. That's the part that makes me sick, is that Clyburn will get up there and say some shit, some stupid shit. and then
of course he is.
I'm just trying to say, I'm just trying, these are the same people.
Because he's a shill.
Kamala will get on there and say, why would I'm not going to do nothing for just black people. I'm going to do something that's going to benefit everybody. But then at the same turn, vote for, I'm doing this for Asian Americans. We have to protect our brothers and sisters of the Asian race. Man, if you don't get your ass out,
We're doing this for immigrants.
come on. We're doing this
Or
whoever.
if they do something for black people, it's not for black people.
It's
They
not,
say
it's for all of us.
we're doing this for minorities or people
Man,
of
come on,
color.
man. And we supposed
People
to be,
of color, that's everybody.
what I'm trying to tell you is it's all right to change the language. It's all right to change the language when it's about black support, reparations, whatever the hell that will benefit us. It's all right to change the language to be inclusive. But when it comes down to supporting specific people like Jews, like Asians, like whomever the freak else, old ladies with cats.
Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I put in the wrong link. Let me unpin that. Thank you, Jacqueline. Does that mean you're coming? Somebody's dancing. Somebody is dancing.
Jacqueline, you use your avatar power. I can create an avatar for you if you want me to, Jacqueline. Just send me a picture, and I will. Or
AI
your
is something else these days.
hero.
Yeah, I sure did give the wrong link. Look, look at them being. Look how they're being silly now.
Sean, you just don't know. Saturday Night Fever.
Yes. Yes.
I love that.
Saturday Night Fever.
I'm not gonna front. That boy has smooth style. I'm not gonna front.
Look how bad they are. Look at this. Wait, hold on. Let me find this. What Bryce said with his bad butt. Oh, they're gonna be bad in the chat now. Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good.
The power of Grayskull. Now I want to know who in the chat remember that.
Oh, I used to love that.
Power of Grayskull.
I have the power. Oh my gosh.
A little bit too much fun, Abby. Having a little bit too much fun. That's right, Sean. That's right. I knew my boy Sean knew. I knew he knew.
I don't think you could ban someone with a wrench.
What's up with the wrench, though? I mean, that's why I say
That means they're a moderator. They're a moderator and they can like they could put people on mute and stuff. Look, Brown, look at the Masters of the Universe. Okay, so I think this is the right pin.
I think y'all be watching the Cartoon Network. That's all right, though. You still in the game. Tell me which one is this. Knowing it's half the battle.
I forget.
Knowing it's half the battle.
Is that the more you know? No. Oh.
Jackson said we can take power away.
Yeah, we could take the wrenches away.
That's right, Sean.
So be nice. G.I. Joe. Oh, G.I. Joe.
Knowing is half the battle. As long as I know what's up with Carla, you ain't fooling me. I'll be quick with half the battle. We just gotta tell some other people. That's right,
So so should we play just a little more of this?
Sure,
and then maybe
you had another video.
maybe
And
yeah, I do.
Play what black men think about Miss Harris, if you don't mind.
No, I do want to play that.
You want to play a little more of this one? Or you want to go into the other?
I mean, even black women got a problem with her, but
we all got we got other things to say. This is like a two-parter.
yeah. That's fine.
As we get
Did I
closer to
miss
this election,
somebody? I don't think I
get
did.
closer to this election,
Mhm.
there's going to be a lot more of these controversial situations going on. But let's listen to a little bit more of this one, and then we'll come back.
Sula, I think you have to comment
Ouch.
before I can give you a wrench. Just letting you know. Yes. If you haven't
And so,
commented
he
recently, I can't
lost
give
it.
you a wrench.
when George W. Bush got in there. Okay. Then George W. Bush had the Senate and the House. Then he had the trifecta. When George W. Bush, he lost the Senate and the House when he was still running. Then Obama, when Obama got in office, this is the receipts. When Obama got in office, Obama had the Senate and the House for his first term. When he first got in there, he had the Senate and the House. He kept the Senate for a large part. And then he lost the House. When Trump got in office, Trump had the trifecta as well. Trump had the majority Senate and the majority House. During the next 2 years, Trump lost the House, and he just had the Senate. Then when Biden got in office, Biden had the Senate and the House. So when you look at Bill Clinton, when he first got in, could have done something. He didn't do anything. And
he did something.
I'm just going to Bill Clinton.
He passed NAFTA.
Even further than this, but we're just going to keep it to Bill Clinton.
No, I'm being serious.
When Bill Clinton first got in there, he could have done it. This is Bill Clinton.
I need to get a drink. It's just what they did. They didn't do anything for us, but they did things to even hurt white America in this country. It was NAFTA really messed us up.
Man, there's a lot of stuff they did that messed.
It's a lot of stuff they did that messed us up.
And what I don't like is that people use entertainers, sports, and all of these other distractions. These little race wars, made up with race wars, just to get people all pumped up and hyped up, and then they slide some dumb shit on. And then come back and ask you, we want your vote, we need you. Then you get everybody pumped up, she black. And then they don't do shit for you again. And then what? And then you look like another duck.
Not a duck.
Come on. I'm tired of being the ducksters. I want to be the, what's that, Scrooge McDuck? I want to be him swimming in them fucking gold coins like Trump do.
You know what duck I want to be?
What duck? You better not say Howard.
Oh, he was a player, baby.
This room is young.
Howard.
They don't even know who Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. Shoot. He was pulling hoes.
Girl, get on.
Y'all remember Howard the Duck?
Howard was something. He was cute. He was cute. All right, so I want to take a look at what these black men, according to this is CNN now. It's CNN telling you how black men and what black men think. Let's see.
Oh, is that other video first?
Which one?
I guess we could do them out of order about what the things that they're giving to immigrants, but we could do them out of order.
Okay,
I'm going to get something to drink, okay?
Yeah. Why is it not open? Yeah. You want me?
Yep.
Black voter support for the top of the Democratic ticket has increased over the past month. According to two ABC News Washington Post polls, Harris has 78% of the black male vote versus Joe Biden's 72% from July. Trump support has dipped slightly from 19% to 16 percentage points. Now, pundits often talk about these voters, but they don't speak with black male voters often. So this morning, something different, some real talk. I brought together a group of black men, 5 men of different ages, different priorities, different political leanings. We watched Harris's historic speech Thursday night, and then we talked about the big issues.
Give me one word to describe her acceptance speech. Anthony, you first.
I would say presidential.
Omar?
Textbook.
Charles?
Political.
Henry?
I would say safe.
Hakeem?
Inspirational. When she first walked out, she was warm. She was taking it all in, and it felt like she was really enjoying the moment and really having it settle on her with the crowd. I think that the acceptance speech overall, the themes were great. I mean, she talks about the American people, what folks wanted to hear from the middle, about middle class, about anti-Trumpism, and really warning us through fear about what we should expect with the second term of Trump. But she really hit the nail on the head.
I think that she did a great job at galvanizing the American people. Textbook play when it comes to acceptance speech. I think she fell short with speaking about economics. And I do understand that her overall speech has to be for the American people, and it's not the time to kind of get a little direct toward what we may want to hear.
I was very surprised that she did, speak about her father.
At the park, my mother would say, "Stay close." But my father would say, as he smiled, "Run, Kamala, run. Don't be afraid. Don't let anything stop you."
For me, it's all about values as well. For me, I am a Black man with a family. And, Anthony made the point about the connection. For me, mentioning her father, who is a Black man, for me, what makes her Black is her father, not an HBCU, not a sorority. And so that's the connection I'm looking for. I was looking to hear more about policy. I think a lot of us were. And so I didn't hear a lot about policy as I would have liked.
I did not expect her to speak heavy on policy. Very rarely will you ever see a presidential candidate in an acceptance speech or even on a stump speak with details on policies. It's what we do after they get elected and get in office and holding their feet to the fire is where we as Black men and as a Black community have failed. And this time we cannot fail.
I didn't hear the things from an economical standpoint that I was looking for. My main question here is that if you happen to get back in office for another 4 years, what are you going to do? You're going to rinse and repeat here. We all pay the exact same for gas and for food. You have families living from paycheck to paycheck. Some can't even make it to paycheck to paycheck.
Anthony, do you believe the polls that show that Black men in a substantial way are shifting to former President Trump?
I was in a barbershop today, right? And there's this real kind of resolve that a lot of folks who are younger millennials are having, which is, hey, I make a little bit of money. I want to keep my money, right? And the country has never really worked for Black men, so what do I have to lose? And so Black men are beginning to vote with their pocketbooks. And I think that's not misguided. But I think the Democratic Party has failed to demonstrate what it has to offer the Black man specifically.
I don't want a Black man's policy. I don't want a Black man's policy. I want a policy that's going to be applied across the board. And since I'm Black, I can benefit from it and understand capitalism and understand how to navigate. And we're never going to get a Black man's policy.
Pause it.
That man said we met.
You pause it.
I did. I paused it. But look.
Somebody slapped the shit out of him.
That man said we never gonna get a Black man policy. That's the same man. That's his grandson, the one that said, "Man, we never gonna be free." That's the same motherfucker.
His last name need to be Jeffrey. How can he got the first name?
Same motherfucker that said, "Man, we never gonna be free." Somebody had to beat him up and possibly killed him. I don't even know how he got out. What?
Well, I don't know, Brown. Don't y'all have y'all got man purses now? No, they don't call them man purses. They call them merces.
Man,
so when you're traveling, you could have a lot of mercy.
That's what kind of mercy.
So when you're traveling, you could have your stuff. That's all right, Graylin.
You all good? Hey, I told you I'm gonna call you GP for game. That's your new name with me. So when you come into this room or any of the shows on our network, you're gonna be GP for game. That's right, GP.
And look, and Graylin, if you are having technical difficulties, you can schedule some time with Tosh Schmidt and me, and we'll walk you through. So
Yeah, we can
Don't worry
practice.
about that.
And you and Abby Duke can hash some things out because I can't wait till you get to know her. It's gonna be hilarious listening to y'all two. I mean, hilarious.
I was really looking forward to talking to you about the black vote, though.
And hold up, don't add Nahilio in it or Bad.
Nahilo.
Or
Nahilo.
Jackie gonna be the only one that bring that love.
It's the black vote. The black vote.
So yeah, does anybody agree with this young man? I'm gonna rewind that just a tad, so GP can hear what this man just said. GP, tell me if you agree with this dude right here, bro.
No mercy for him.
Abby went off on a little.
And I think that's not misguided. But I think I think the Democratic Party has failed to demonstrate what it has to offer the black man specifically.
I don't want a black man's policy. I don't want a black man's policy. I want a policy that's going to be applied across the board. And since I'm black, I can benefit from it and understand capitalism and understand how to navigate. And we're never going to get a black man's policy.
Henry, you wanted to hear a message that you said was not through the language of social justice. What does that mean?
There's more to black men than social justice and these problems with police. I just feel like a lot of politicians, they feel like the only way to talk to black men is through that language about social justice.
This cycle, they are leaning into her experience as a prosecutor.
I think that is net positive. I mean, there's nothing that anyone can say to make me feel as though I have more in common with Donald Trump than Kamala Harris. But this has become the center because of its relationship to black men, and this idea that we can sever black men from Kamala Harris if we just say she puts us in jail. And I feel like that's like a complete fallacy.
What is the relevance of sex here? Sexism is as pervasive in this country as racism is. Do you think it's going to hurt her with voters, men, black men specifically?
You know, the black community, for us, we're used to women being in leadership. So for us, I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
I would say that I agree and disagree. I think it may be a problem because a lot of African American business, particular black male business, feel a little threatened because there's a huge movement when it comes to black woman business. And so, number one, we shouldn't let them divide us that particular way. But the movement is so great for African American women, and we support them, and we want that. And sometimes I think African American men can feel like they're outpacing us when we should be working together at the exact same time.
How relevant is her support for a woman's right to make medical decisions about her body?
It's the woman's body, so she should be able to dictate her terms of her body.
The Lord made life. Jesus Christ made life, and you have to value life. So Kamala wants to take life.
There's so much that we don't know as men that we don't have the privilege to opine on. Like, we will never have a period. We will never go through childbirth. So to even fix our mouths to comment on how, I don't care what God said it, women have the right to govern their bodies. And it's time to shut our mouths.
You are a registered Republican, now consider yourself to be an independent, voted for Trump in 2016, Biden in 2020. Going this, you were leaning Harris, but hadn't ruled out Trump. Did you hear anything in the speech that moved your vote or the likelihood in one direction or another?
Not in this speech specifically, but over the past month and within the last 4 days, absolutely.
And what was that?
One, you have freedom. Days of old, you would never hear a person speak about autocrats or dictators the way Trump speaks of them, and the party allows him to continue to speak on them that way. Ronald Reagan is rolling over in his grave.
Okay, I have a few things to say. This concept of freedom about dictators, that is the boogeyman. The fact that we switch, like you can only do 2 terms, that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. They changed that because it was Lyndon Johnson, I believe, was creating so many social policies that he got a third term. That's when they changed the rules where you could only do 2 terms. They did that on purpose, so you can't really get a stronghold on social programs because the next person could come in and just reverse it. So they call them dictators, but these people are democratically elected into office. They are just telling us that they are uh, authoritarianisms, that these people have free and fair elections just like us. These are the people they want to vote for. So that's the first thing. I forgot what he said so much that was ridiculous.
So much.
But he's definitely a Harris voter for sure. I did want to share this really quickly. It is a 10-page paper. I'm only reading like 3 paragraphs. It'll be quick, I promise.
3 paragraphs.
Small paragraphs. There are only like 2 sentences in each paragraph. Why is this not? Try one more time. Can you share this? Wait, screen sharing was canceled. Make sure you click share on the.
And come back in. You remember? At least I learned that part.
Can I just give it to you?
Sure.
I could also just read it, but some people are visual, some people are tactile learners, all that
And it's
good
quick.
stuff.
You can go ahead and read it. Hold up. Can I read Sean's?
Yep, I'm leaving. I'll be back.
All right. Sean says, what really makes me angry is that anyone running for president
It's so many rules and hoops that we go through. I mean, everyday people were supposed to be able to have an opportunity to run for president, but you see how far that's changed. So, I mean, you're right, man. It's like all kind of hoops and stuff that people have to go through, but the hoops are especially made, custom made for the wealthy.
Like the tax code.
Everything. I mean, it's right in our faces. Everything that is happening is right in our faces, but it seems like Americans, I don't care what color you are, what sex you are, you're just going to go with the crowd. It's hardly any independent thinkers that's ready to stand up and make the kind of demands for your vote, make the kind of changes that really needs to happen. Because if people are still dying from police brutality, if those basic simple things are still happening and nothing's done about it, how the hell you gonna give them your vote again? Why are you gonna give them your vote again if nothing's in place to make certain that you are protected, that you have an opportunity to live a life worth living? It's like, how you just, and then to belittle and down. Hold up, I'm gonna have to put you back on and take me off. But I'm just saying, how you have the audacity to yell and lecture people who want to be independent, free thinkers for themselves. My vote represents me. It doesn't represent we. It represents me and what is best for me. That's what a vote is for. That's what they died for.
Okay. Yeah, you said that for with your chest, girl. All right. So this is from the Richard Nixon Presidential Library and Museum. It's part of the archives. January 16th, 1970. You see that? I'm just going to read the first 2 paragraphs. Memorandum for the President. As the new year begins, it occurs to me that you might find useful a general assessment of the position of Negroes at the end of the first year of your administration and of the decade in which their position has been the central domestic political issue. In quantitative terms, which are reliable, the American Negro is making extraordinary progress. They hated that shit. In political terms, somewhat less reliable, this would also appear to be true. In each case, however, there would seem to be countercurrents that pose a serious threat to the welfare of the blacks and the stability of the society, white and black. Now look at what the problem is. All right, let me go to the second page. Young Negro families are achieving income parity with young white families. Outside the South, young husband-wife Negro families have 99% the income of whites! Exclamation point! That's pissing them the fuck off. You see that? I thought we was lazy. Okay, so I'm going to get to the point. I skipped to page 6. The time may have come when the issue of race could benefit from a period of benign neglect. The subject has been too much talked about. The forum has been too much taken over to hysterics, paranoids, and boodlers on all sides. We may need a period in which Negro progress continues and racial rhetoric fades. So let that kind of continue, let it fade, and then flip the goddamn script on us. So benign neglect, let me go to, let me see if I can find something like real quick. Benign neglect is basically them having a pact between each other saying that they weren't going to do anything for the black community. I'm trying to find where, get out of the way. Let me see if I can find it on here. If I find it, you can come back to me. But I've been studying this for a while. That's basically what it is. It's a packet that Congress made, Democrats and Republicans, that they can no longer, like we're making too much progress and they need to slow that down. They need to neglect us purposefully to make sure we don't surpass other races in this country. Ain't that sad?
That's crazy.
Oh, and it shows right here, like that New York Times article showed that man's name. Oh, you didn't see that part. Daniel P. Moynihan. I'd have to look him up to see who he is. But this shows you right here. Oh, it tells you right here. You can't see this. Sorry, I'm looking at the other screen. Get out my camera. Daniel P. Moynihan was the counselor to President Nixon. So he was just kind of going over what was happening with the. Oh, I need to make this bigger for you too. We're gonna go back to the chat, y'all. I just want to make sure we kind of hit these points. Counselor to President Nixon reported in a memorandum to the president, that's what I showed you, that Negroes have made extraordinary progress and suggested that the time may have come when the issue of race could benefit from a period of benign neglect. So, text of Moynihan, I think, reports to the president. I must have the short version or something, but that's in his library, so I think I only had 10 pages. Page 69 of extremists of either race and to ignore provocations from the Black Panthers. But the Black Panthers were not provoking anyone. They were trying to
Their communities, empower people, and all those great things.
And not just Black people in their community, poor people in general. They did not like that.
WIC is still around. That was something created by the Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
It's still around. And it's not just helping Black Americans.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So if you hadn't heard of that, I just wanted to bring that up real quick. And you wanted to show a video? How you guys doing in the chat? I've been
GP had something he just added in, and then I'm gonna I have one last video, and then we could pitch in what's the shows to come.
I have another
what's going
video.
on. Oh, okay.
I
Cool.
gave it to you in the private chat.
Can you give it to me again so I can pull it up?
It's in the private chat.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play this last video from me.
Yeah, and then you can pull it up while you're doing it.
All right, guys.
Sounds good to me. And then we could give our we could give the private chat a little love. Let me give out some more wrenches if some more of our ride or dies are in here.
Talk about this. I played this a while back on one of the other shows, but I wanted to play it again. This is one of the black billionaires that I think is actually doing something to benefit all of us and not just some of us.
Mm-hmm.
And he had opportunity during one of these award shows to give his inspiring, amazing acknowledgement about the truth of Black America. And so we could discuss this on the other side.
Didn't he own BET?
No, he does not own BT. He owns.
He used to, right?
No, he did not.
Oh,
No, he did not.
okay.
But we can talk about it more on the other side.
Okay.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s widow, the true queen of America, Coretta Scott King, once said to me, "Byron, our greatest weapon is the truth. If we bring the truth, we will always win." So tonight, let's talk about the truth. The truth is, Black America is under attack. At this time, 44 states are debating which Black history to teach in schools. There's only one Black history that should be taught: the truth. Over 20 states have already put laws on the books to stop teachers from teaching the truth. They are downplaying our contributions to this beautiful country and changing our narrative and diminishing our images. Unfortunately, we have seen this before. You erase the truth so you can repeat the atrocities again. That's why I've dedicated.
Hold up, let's talk about that. You heard what he said. You erase to repeat the atrocities. If we vote for Kamala and not have demands for the vote, not have things in place, we're going to get the same thing that we got when Biden was elected. Excuses, Parliament, and all the rest of the players of obstruction.
Before you press play, can I just address something in the chat? I gotta find it. It was Jacqueline. So she says, I'm sorry, the chat's moving real fast, so I'm gonna miss some things. So sorry about that. Jacqueline says, is it the term benign neglect an oxymoron? Well, yes, it is, but not for them, because so benign means like to be gentle and kind. So they're neglecting us, but they're not doing it in the way they used to, which was very brutal. Right now it's a kind neglect. Oh, we'll give you a Black Lives Matter. We'll write that down on the street for you. We'll even name a street after you. You want a police bill? Hell no. Oh, we'll give you shit. What else do they give us? Not much.
Can I ask a question? What's up with this tax credit or this tax thing?
Oh yeah.
For waitresses and waiters. Like that's gonna affect the fucking majority of people in America. Why is she going to bat so hard for that shit? I'm just asking. I'm just wondering.
Most waitresses and waiters are not in America are not Black, because they're most Black people in the restaurant business are in the back
because their
of the
hiring
kitchen.
practices are not in favor of Black people. So that's again why I'm saying, why is she fighting for this tax on and shit about the all that stuff. I'm looking and
Because
listening
it's
to it.
benign neglect.
Exactly.
And I'm going to give you another example of benign. Well, no, this isn't even benign neglect. It's just outright to hell with you, playing in our face. But please don't start that over. Please don't start that over.
I'm not starting to.
I don't.
Let's go.
He is part of the bourgeoisie class.
Who?
He just talked shit.
Oh, you talking about him?
Yes.
We're gonna agree to disagree.
Okay.
Dedicated my life to building one of the world's biggest media companies, simply because we must tell our own stories, keep control of the narrative and our images. Representation matters.
Okay, pause it. Look at all them. Look at all those
When we see
bougie
positive
Black
images
people
of
who ain't
ourselves,
doing nothing for our community.
Okay.
Oh, that's great. Okay, you built a big media company like Tyler Perry. What grocery store did you build?
Excuse me.
What what hospital? Where you been?
This will be and you gonna disagree. Because what you're doing is the same thing what I'm saying that I don't like people to do to voters who have difference of opinions. If you have a difference of opinions, it's cool. But look at other stuff.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about that.
I'm saying that. I'm saying you
I'm
don't know what he's
confused.
done. You don't know what he's done, do you? He's done more than just
give
own
money. This is
a
what they
television
do.
show.
This is what they do. This is the scam. They give money to charities. Their friends own these charities. These charities barely put the money that is given into what is supposed to be happening. They pay administrative fees out the wazoo. I know the scam.
I understand that, and I appreciate that, but I'm just saying I don't lump them all in one category. Even though we already know there's over fucking how many Black billionaires, and no changes occurred in the Black fucking population.
Okay.
yet. So I understand that, but I'm saying he doesn't fit in the same category as a Jay-Z.
Why? Because he didn't sell drugs?
No, not because he didn't sell drugs, because of his vision, what he shares, and where he's going, and what he's actually accomplished.
Well, shoot, I could listen to Warren Buffett. I could listen to what's the dude from Microsoft? I could listen to him. I could listen to all kind of them about where they want to go. Oprah Winfrey. Dave the Rock was just there clapping.
All right, can I finish this video and then we can continue this discussion on the inside?
Bill Gates, thank you, bad cookies.
it lifts our spirits. You cannot be what you cannot see. So tonight, let's bring the truth. Here's one. Slavery did not benefit Black people. It's one of the worst crimes.
Honestly, when I look in that crowd, I don't see no difference between them and boomers like your mom and my friend's mom, who's blindly supporting Kamala. When I look in that audience, it's just the same followers, but with bigger money pockets.
That's all I was trying to say.
I agree with you. I'm not saying that it isn't.
Committed against humanity. Here's another truth. Unfortunately, too many Americans are struggling to succeed. Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, gay Americans, Jewish Americans, Muslim Americans, single mothers, and white Americans. We're all positioned to succeed when everyone can benefit
look how he
from
just
the riches
Kamala
of
just-
America. And when we do that, we are one and we can compete.
You're taking up for this
in
dude. He just
global
Kamala just.
society. Here's some more truth. The greatest trade deficit in America is the trade deficit between white corporate America and Black America. And as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. taught us, we cannot survive with two Americas. We must achieve one America. We cannot have one America until we deal with the truth. So here is the truth. America, you are killing Black America in the classroom by making sure we do not get a proper education. You're killing us in the courtroom by making sure we do not have equal justice. You're killing us in the boardroom by making sure that we do not get real economic inclusion. And you're killing us in the hospital room by making sure that we do not have proper health care. And you're doing all of this long before you kill us in the streets. More truth. If we do not close the education gap, we cannot close the wealth gap. I can tell you where Black America will be 40 years from now with one simple data point. What is the Black student population of the top 50 universities white corporate America recruits from? If it remains under 1 or 2%, as opposed to where it should be, proportionate with the Black population, approximately 14%, then nothing will change in Black America. And America will never realize its fullest potential. When you come to my office and you get off the elevator, there's a sign that says, there isn't a bank in the world where I can deposit excuses, so I don't accept them. America, we can no longer accept your excuses. So I'm asking America to understand, appreciate, and accept the truth that the Black community is one of America's greatest assets and not a liability. Our contributions are enormous. It's impossible for America to be the wealthiest country in the world without the contributions of Black America. Our partnership going forward needs to be more respectful, inclusive, and balanced. Now, for all the young people out there, my wish is for you to recognize yourself in these extraordinary icons. We want to inspire you to cultivate your own talents, self-determination, and encourage the greatness that lives inside each of you. In this room, on this stage, or wherever you are, remember one thing. You are one of the most valuable assets we have. We need you. Your contributions make us stronger. To create the positive change we all need and deserve, your voice must be heard. With you, we can achieve one America. And when we achieve one America, we will achieve one race, the human race.
You can hear me through you.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I don't like. It is nowhere in the world where we're saying Black people don't want all people to succeed and all people to have, rights or be fairly treated and so forth. But why does that have to be mixed with the reparations and the things?
You're my camera. Go ahead, keep going.
I'm just saying, why does it all have to be blurred when it comes down to recognizing what is owed to Black America? Why does it always have to be, we want everyone to succeed? And as soon as a Black person says, but what about what is owed to us? Why does it always have to turn south like a Black person is not trying to be inclusive or supportive to others? That's not what we're doing. Do you hear other people saying that? You know why you don't hear other races and other people and other groups saying that? It's because they get recognized individually. It is only when it comes down to Black people when it's so profound that we will not just support one of us. It is for all of us. And Abigail, you are 100% right. I did respect Byron Allen and what he's saying and how he's was being vocal about the state of Black America. But you did call him out, and I didn't really notice that. He complimented me. He did.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, you see how easy it is for them to blur the lines when it comes down to be giving us what is due, what is rightfully ours, what is if anybody play any kind of games or any kind of thing and you want to talk about fairness, you mean to tell me it's not right that Black people are protected in America in 2024? You mean we still have to fight for protection, fair protection from police, and not, have to be murdered for simple call for help? You understand what I'm saying? I just don't understand why it has to be so blurry when it comes down to Black. Why does it have to be blurred, or why we have to get guilt tripped? Why we have to be belittled or put in a certain box because we want to stand up for us?
Well, at this point, Tashmi, I don't think you have to try to understand it anymore. Like, you're gonna rack your brain trying to understand it. You don't need to have to understand it. Just do what you need to do, and let that be. So look, GP says, wait, true story, sis. But where did their family get the money from? Somebody had to be broke before. Okay, so there are there's a lot of exploitation that has happened in this world with oh,
I just don't know.
okay. Yes, yes, in the Black community somebody had to be broke before, but all these stories, JD Vance, Jeff Bezos, I don't know, I already forgot. I want to forget him so bad. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, none of those are rags to riches stories. Not one of them. So just because you trot out maybe one rags to riches story, and there are always people in entertainment and mostly entertainment and sports in the Black community, that has nothing to do with our wealth as a whole. Our wealth hasn't surpassed 1965 wealth numbers. There's a problem with that. So we still poor as a community. I mean, if you want to think about an individualism in the Black community, sure, you could praise Byron Allen, but that's an individualist. We're supposed to be a community.
But we're not. We're fractured. We're materialistically divided. But I love what Solomon Moon is saying.
I can't see it. You can read it.
There's enough land and resources for everyone to live comfortably. Sure, if certain people want more luxury, let them work for it. But these people sit on their butts, making others do all the work, and then taking credit like self-made millionaire, college. What's that girl?
Kylie Jenner. I mean, she came from money.
Man, stop.
The point is, the billionaires shouldn't exist, and the only reason they can exist is through exploitation. And we're supposed to be an eco. I can't read it. I can't see it. An ecosystem. We're supposed to be a community. We're supposed to be communal, social people. We're not supposed to exploit each other in that way, and that's what's happening.
Slavery was never abolished. It was just rebranded like Nike and all the rest of this other shit. I 100% agree with you. And we talked about, I was supposed to talk about that in one of the other shows with Dr. Umar, talking about this, how NFL, NBA, and the slavery and the bunny chasing retransformation.
Oh, Mastermind is here. I missed out. I got a little lit. Not lit as in alcohol lit, just like a little excited about the conversation. So I missed the chats. I've kind of missed the chats. Let's go back. Oh, I'm sorry.
was just talking about exploitation of labor. That's right.
Yes.
And what's up with Craig? What's that?
He said, GP, are people wrong for feeling like that shouldn't be the norm? So, okay, if that's true, if people deserve what you shed blood, sweat, and tears for, then we should have reparations.
We should be good. We should have gotten something by now.
And billionaires shouldn't exist because they didn't shed blood, sweat, and tears for that money. They exploited other people's blood, sweat, and tears, and those people are going home hungry and struggling. And that shouldn't be the case.
But this the trick. They still fucking voting for the same people that's keeping them there.
Well, stop all that cussing.
Oh, excuse the mix.
Where is your swear jar? Look, where is better half with that swear jar?
Sorry, but I'm being real. What Sean saying? How you a business with record profits and you got more on welfare? Come with it. Tell me that, man, for real.
So that means you're exploiting us twice because you're using the tax dollars from our wages to subsidize corporations so they don't have to pay their workers a living wage. So you've exploited us, well, not even just twice. We pay taxes on our income, then we have to pay taxes to the state. We already paid taxes on the income. We got to take the income and pay taxes on the products we purchase. How many times have you exploiting us? This is crazy. You just keep clickety-clacking it. All right, I'm gonna let you do it. No, I can see you. I can see you. We're both trying to do the same thing. Billionaires shedding blood, sweat, and tears. Ha 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 ha. No, it was something I sent you in.
Oh, that's true. Okay, I'm sorry.
It doesn't have to be. We could wrap up. It's like 2 hours in. I wanted to just remind. I think most of these people were here yesterday, so it's not a big deal. We could talk to Graylin about it on another day. It was just me and Mastermind showing how they're playing in our faces. You know, our show yesterday, showing how they're playing in our faces with the money they're giving to migrants.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. Can we end on that one? I'm not even gonna worry about this. I would like to end on that one.
And just say goodbye and just let it play a little bit.
And let it play out.
Okay.
I want GP to see what this is. What you say they doing? They playing on our top? What they doing?
They're playing on our top.
I heard Mastermind say something yesterday. What he said? They were doing what?
They're basically like trolling us. That's what he said.
Right. So, GP, I want you to see how these immigrants are getting all the reparations and support that Black Americans should have received, but we have to sit back and watch other people get it, right?
Yep.
And maintain intelligence, poise, respect,
yes,
and so forth.
May I before you're pulling it up? Why are you pulling it up? It's in the private chat.
Is this it?
It's in the private chat.
Oh,
That's how I sounded. All right, I'm about to read yours. Galen, great. I'm sorry, GP, but I want to go to this joke really quickly. Nahilo Nordstrom says billionaires go to the bottom of the ocean to prove how tough they are and don't come back. Whoopsie. Didn't some billionaires just like a billionaire's yacht got overturned like a week or something ago? 21 is good. And then oh, Sean's laughing at that. Sulu, okay, Sulu says, I'm sorry, Sula Moon, Why everyone gets reparations except the descendants of slavery after they were promised 40 acres and a mule. It's a debt owed. It's labor that is owed to the descendants of the enslaved people. And I want what's owed to me. And they paid the slave owners reparations. So, and then y'all have the nerve to tell us, oh, that time has passed, so we can't do that. Like, hell, you can't. Okay, let me see what GP is saying. No, I wanted to play this. He's out?
Yeah, he was piecing out. Look like he said.
No, he said we'll be sure. Oh, he is piecing out. Oh, okay. Okay, well, we will talk to you next week. He does say this though, even though he pieced out. In theory, we should, but we should. Oh, I can't remember what we were talking about. But let me see if I remember. In theory, we should, but wouldn't know what to do with reparation. Who?
What?
That? What? I mean, they would only feed the monster again. Sadly, we would get exploited even more. Huh?
I believe he's saying that Kohl's and Louis Vuitton and Escalade and whatever the hell else that Dave Chappelle made fun of.
Okay, so even if that is the case, that's stimulating the economy. So why are you worried about it? Let us figure that out.
I know. I don't like them to put.
There's a lot of black business owners with small businesses in this country. Tons of them.
That's right.
So why would you say that about us?
That's right.
Like we can't figure stuff out for ourselves, huh?
Not the collective, but some, just like everybody else.
But that's anybody.
That's what I just said. Just like everybody else.
Businesses fail all the time.
And not everybody's smoking Newports.
Thank you, Nahilo. Okay, so before we play that, because we're leaving out on that, right?
That's right.
Okay, we're leaving out on civilian discourse. So we just want to remind everybody, as we always do, come on back and see. Y'all come back now, you hear? Let me play this.
I'm gonna put this up. There we go.
All right. So today is Tuesday, right? So Wednesday, 10 Rabbit Podcast with Mastermind and Bad Cookies. It's going to be a great show. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Don't come here. Go to 10 Rabbit Podcast channel because we got to keep those separate for now. Thursday, Nahilo Nordstrom and myself for the Noteworthy Podcast. Oh, before you guys leave, go ahead and go follow at Toshmit24. Go ahead and follow her. Go ahead and follow at Nahilo Nordstrom 24 and all the other ones if you haven't. Why are you here? We're trying to build the channel up. We didn't start our channels during the pandemic. We just started like a few months ago. So we got a long ways to go. And we appreciate you for sticking around with us while we're doing that. We really do. We're family now.
That's right.
That's right. Okay, so are we ready? We're going to peace out. We'll see you tomorrow, Thursday. Back Monday for Civilian Discourse at 5 o'clock right here at this channel. And we love you.
Pieces.
You gotta make it. Ready for a little you'll go to Pettyville with me.
Oh, that's where I get my mail.
Okay, I have to pull it back up because my browser shut down. But this guy, his name is Jamal Green. He kind of came up during the
Black Lives Matter. Is I think that's when he
Is
was
that the
getting
same guy
hit
that
in
was
Rome.
he was interviewed on Hardlands Media this morning? If that's the same guy I'm thinking of. Is he
A black guy. He ran for mayor of Chicago.
does he have a chair that looks like mine?
You know what? That might be him.
Yeah, he was on HLM this morning. Awesome dude. Everybody was throwing love at him in the chat, which is unusual. I mean, at least there's usually a couple people that are talking shit, which usually I'm one of them. But
Okay, so Jamal, let me share my screen. He makes a comment about how well, I'm gonna read the comment for you.
hey, John.
I'm gonna read the comment for you. Before I do that, let me just say, have you heard about this? Why is it not? There we go. California to consider $150,000 home loans for illegal immigrants. California, I
Okay.
call them elite, to undocumented.
Yeah.
The California Dream for All program will provide 20% down payment assistance with no savings required from recipients.
Okay. They're fucking sorry. They're trolling us. They have to be trolling us.
Yeah.
Nobody would have a problem with that at all. I would not have any problem with that if they offered it to every American first, and then after every American had a home, then they could start doing stuff like that. Absolutely. Right? Because that sounds like an awesome program. But maybe before you prioritize that program, you should take care of the people that actually voted for you in the first place.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Yeah, right. And I'm not one of these I mean, I realize that there's some weird shit going on with immigration, but you know, it is weird that, you know, the majority of them are men that are, you know, 18 plus, ready to, you know, army age, you know, soldier age. I don't want to go down. I'm going to start getting tin rabbity here, and I don't want to mix do any crossovers too badly. But it does seem a little weird that it's not like families right now. From what I'm told, or you know, my take on it is that it's like a bunch of guys coming, not a bunch of families or a bunch of kids coming.
Right.
And so that seems suspect to
Highly
me.
suspicious.
Yeah.
Highly suspicious.
Yes.
Seems
And
like
I mean,
they-
if basically when you're thinking about people that are, the reason they're supposed to come over is they're in fear for their lives from where they're at, or, you know, some sort of gang or whatever reply, you have to have a reason. But I don't think all these guys are coming over here with that specific, you know, with any, you know, fear of reprisal from their home country. I think it's something more nefarious than that, but time will tell.
Yeah.
But you know, when I see shit like this, where they want to, and that's the thing. It's California. What was it? 120K?
150.
What's that going to get you in California?
Yeah. Maybe it's
Right?
like, okay, maybe it's like the parts of California that are, because California is kind of big.
Right. Yeah. You
So-
got to. Yeah. You can get some.
They
some
won't
ranch
be, they won't
way
be
out.
living
way
in LA
out.
or
Right, it'd be
Hollywood or
way-
Beverly Hills.
Right. It's going to take them a half hour on their bicycle to get to work.
Jacqueline says that sounds like it's a policy proposal which is designed to cause resentment. That's exactly what it sounds like.
That's what they're trolling us. Absolutely. That they want the outrage that I instinctively, just like, I don't even have a pony in this race, but it started making me mad. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that's the nerve they're trying to hit. I think you're 100% right, Jack. Also, these loans are for about all of us. We just know them as scams, right? Yeah. The balloon payment. Yeah. Even if they do get these loans, yeah. Can you imagine what it's going to be like trying to pay back these balloon mortgages that they're going to stick these people with?
Hmm.
So
So-
what's going to happen is then they're all going to forfeit on these loans, and then the banks are going to get to take over the properties. So this is just another way for BlackRock to get, holy crap. It's BlackRock. Of course it is. Now they want every house in America, and this is one way to wrench it out. Just give the houses to immigrants that can't pay for the loans, and then
Make a little money.
repossess.
Make a
Yeah.
little money. And
What,
then
in the meantime?
repossess it. Yep.
Jeez.
So so then Kamala, she has a proposal to give like $20,000 to first generation home buyers. So first generation basically means the children of the immigrants, because they'll be considered first generation, the first generation.
Because
in
anchor
this
baby
country.
has a negative connotation. But it shouldn't. We got an anchor baby running for president of the United States. That's got to say something for anchor babies, right?
So I'm gonna show you something.
Can I say anchor baby? Is that cancelable?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
Vivek says it.
Okay. I like the mental image of an anchor baby because they're always underwater. I don't know. It's just an anchor. It's a visual thing for me. Like a Stewie is a football baby. I think of an anchor baby.
Okay, so Jamal he makes a comment about how this first generation home buyer thing is not going to be helping us. And well, I'll just let this guy
That's
tell
just
it.
how it goes. You got to be ready for that. That's what comes with it.
I'll let this
Or you
guy
just got to
tell it.
watch what you say. And so after that, Roland Martin decides to do an entire segment on his show about Jamal Green.
Okay, hold on. I think I need to play this one first, I guess.
John, real
That's
quick, an
just how it
anchor
goes. You gotta be
baby
ready for that.
is
That's what
when a
comes with
baby
it.
that's born
Or
in
you
the
just gotta
United
watch what you
States
say.
from illegal immigrants or just not non-Americans. But if you're born in America, you get to be an American, and then they let the parents stay to take care of the baby. So that makes them the anchor baby. Sorry. Just give them definitions. Sorry.
No worries. Sean says a child that has two non-citizens, a child had by two non-citizens to gain citizenship. Correct.
Sean said it more distinctly than I did. He got to the point there.
Yeah. I hadn't seen the chat. Okay, so here we go. This guy will explain it to you. The beef between Jamal and Roland Martin.
That's just how it goes. You got to be ready for that. That's what comes with it. Or you just got to watch what you say. And so after that, Roland Martin decides to do an entire.
Wait. I messed that up again. Here we go.
With it. Or you just got to watch what you say. And so after that, Roland Martin.
I guess not. Okay, so let me read it to you then. So he says, does anybody want to tell me what first generation is code for? Pay attention to the cryptic. Dang, I can't read this. I can make this bigger though.
If you hit Control Plus, that might help. That might zoom your
There we
text.
go.
Or you could do that. That makes it really big.
That makes it real big. Okay, does anybody want to tell me what first generation is code for? LOL. Pay attention to the cryptic words being used to show us what agenda is their agenda. Yet you literally have Black folks acting like the Democrats will prioritize you when you have the lowest home ownership. So Roland Martin comes back and is like, are you that dumb? Wait a minute, shots fired.
Right. And if you come out of the gate like that, that's always going to be, you've always got to make sure that they don't have three fingers pointing back.
Right. If Black folks have the lowest home ownership rates, that means incentives for first-time buyers will appeal to Black folks. Are you that clueless? Okay.
That's just how it goes.
Here
You
we
got to be
go.
ready for that. That's what comes with it. Or you just got to watch what you say. And so after that, Roland Martin decides to do an entire segment on his show about Jamal Green. And
About
let's
his
just play a
tweet.
little bit of that video so you guys can see what he said.
How hard he hurt.
Matt, here was this fool, Jamal Green. Go to my iPad. This fool tweeted, does anybody want to tell me what first generation is code for? LOL. Dumbass is first generation. Pay attention to the cryptic words being used to show us what agenda is their agenda. Yet you literally have Black folks acting like the Democrats will prioritize you when you have the lowest home ownership rate in the country at 44%. Like, stop. See, Matt, the reason I can't stand fools like this here, and I think this fool
He
ran
called him
for
out his name
mayor of
every which
Chicago
way.
or something, I don't know, but he's stupid.
Called him fool. Called him dumb.
He did run for mayor of Chicago, and shout out to him for doing that. Running for mayor of a large city is not an easy thing to do. And I thought that his campaign was, well, I didn't pay too much attention to his campaign. I remember he ran, but
I did.
I remember he said some things that he wanted to do that I was definitely in favor of. I think it's actually courageous when young people like him run for mayor. It takes so much.
Okay, so anyway, you get the gist. He
Right.
called
And
him dumb
if you didn't,
fool.
yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
see, yeah. No, I was just gonna say, if you didn't get a chance to catch Heartland's media this morning, you might want to go back and check out this morning's episode because he was on there and he did a really good interview with Kit. It was a
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back and look.
yeah.
I
And
like
before he had Larry Sharp on, so he had 2 interviews this morning he had back-to-back bangers.
Oh.
So it was a big morning for Kit.
So, hi Bryce.
Hey, Bryce.
So for the DNC convention, Jamal told his followers, "Hey, if you see Roland Martin, let me know where let me know where he is, because I'm gonna pull up on him."
Put a tag on him.
So he was at a church, and
Uh,
oh my gosh, let me see if I can. Here it is, right here. Okay, oh, you can't hear it though. He looks so scared. Do you see him? That's Jamal right there.
I gave you enough. We gave you enough pictures. Yesterday, you
Security.
They're screaming security. First of all, Jamal Green is not like that. He was not going to hit him. Jamal has too
No.
much to lose. He
No.
just wanted to talk to him.
Well, yeah, he wanted to talk to him about this far away, but I don't blame him for that. I'd want to get nose to nose to him too, and I was telling him what I was thinking about him.
He's
I'm gonna-
clearly trying to confront
Hold on.
him. He does not look aggressive.
I'm gonna play this. There we go.
Approaches
All right,
Roland
you
Martin
guys.
in a church. Just so you guys know that.
Oh,
is a
wait,
church.
she's sharing it on her
He approaches
screen.
Roland Martin. He's clearly trying to confront him. He
Uh,
does not look aggressive to me.
Okay, that was the Pettyville part. I just wanted you guys to see about how they're playing on our top and trolling us. Since we're talking about the Black vote, do not vote for these people. Well, I can't tell you who to vote for. Vote for who you want. But I won't be voting for the Blues or the Reds. So that's just me. You could vote for who you want. It's not my job to tell you who to vote for. But it is my job to tell you to have a good night. I appreciate you guys. We love you, fam. And let's just keep building this this network and this family together. See you tomorrow. Why aren't you cussing him?